this is Peggy for CropStop.com, and today I'd like to show you a little technique that I've used for many years, and it's probably not new to a lot of you, but I just want to kind of refresh everybody's memory. It's called the smoosh technique, and I'm going to be using some of the Distress Reinkers to show you that. This is the card that I was created using that technique. It's the background colors that you see right here that we're going to create, and then we're going to use some other things. Let me just show you some of the products that we're going to use tonight. I'm going to be using Distress Reinkers, Distress Ink, and I'm using the Reinkers. There we go. I'm going to use the Dried Marigold, the Victorian Velvet, and the Broken China. So those are the ink colors that we're going to use. I also added a little bit of my liquid pearls. I kind of pulled these out of the drawer a while back, and now I'm really using them a lot. Let me just show you on the card where I used it just a tiny bit on these little tiny, what do they call those? The arms? No, the hands of the clock. Arms, hands, you know what I mean, right there. So I added that. We're also going to be using one of my new die cuts, Tim Holtz Alterations die cuts, and this one makes the little film strip. So we're going to use that. Let's see, we'll be using our little Reinker sponge here to do that. Then we're going to also use the Tim Holtz embossing folder called Patchwork. That's what we're going to emboss with on our Cuttlebug. And then I show you when I get to that point. Let me bring this into you. I'm not going to make this card, but I want to show you what I used as my scraps, because you know I hate to throw things away. So this is my funny little card that I made. Using that, for the background of that, I used the zebra print from Sizzix embossing folder. All of these will go through the Cuttlebug. And then I have a jar full of all these different things that Tim Holtz does, and I just pulled out some. Over on CropStop.com, she has got the most awesome ones. I don't have those yet. I've got to get them, the little clock faces, which would look really cool on this card. So that's something for you to get. I'm going to use a little bit of Color Box chalk ink. And then over here, I don't know if the camera can get over here that quick or not. Let's see. Here we are over here. My little Cuttlebug. And we are going to be using those new 13-inch plates that go in there. Alright, well, let's get started and show you how to smoosh a little bit. Real quick, I just want to show you the way that I store my Distress Ink Reinkers. I buy these little boxes. You can get them in any craft stores like a shoe box. And then, let's see if I can pull one out. I get this count number 7 mesh, and I make these little dividers to keep all my inks in. I have a couple of the Tim Holtz metal boxes, but then he quit making them, so I had to come up with a new way. Plus, I have more than fits in the box. Okay, enough about storage. I know we all love to store our things. Let's do this technique. Now, I've just taken this piece of cellophane. I don't really know what it really was. It was a package that came around a rubber stamp that I bought. And I'm going to lay that right there. And then I'm going to take my Reinkers. Get them all opened up here real quick. And I always start with my light color, so I'm going to start with this velvet. It doesn't look light, but it truly is. And the paper I'm going to be using for this, a lot of people will use glossy paper. I'm just using regular matte paper. I might have a lot on there, but that's all right. You know me, I'll use it up. And that's a little bit of the blue. And the other trick to this, you know, is every time you do it, it's going to be a different look. But again, some folks use the glossy paper, and that's quite all right. I just wanted to use this because I kind of wanted the matte finish. I didn't want a glossy look. You close that over, and you just start rubbing it. You don't want to make it too muddy, so don't rub it too much. So there's my smush. Open it up. I know it looks pretty crummy, doesn't it? But once I lay, whoa, almost dropped it. I'm going to lay this on there. And if you want your fingers to stay clean, wear plastic gloves, because otherwise they'll get messy. Oh, that's going to be kind of pretty, I think. You know me, I like to get every little drop of ink off of there. See how quick that's drying? I'm going to flip it around to this side, and we'll do the other end. There we go. That one's a little bit darker. Now, those are exactly the same colors that I used on my other card front, and they just turned out a different color. Oop, stuck it. Okay. Now, if you really wanted to, you can smush that some more. You're going to get kind of a muddy look out of that, but then you can put another hunk of paper in there. And I'll just grab one and show you real fast, because I just so happen to have one here. And you know I hate to waste anything. So there's that little bit. There we go. So there will be a totally different look. All right, let me clean this mess up and we'll come back and finish it up. Okay, I've decided, I went back and inked this a little bit off camera. I kind of like this one better than I did the other one. It was a little darker than I wanted, so I'll use that and cut some flowers out of it. Then we're just going to use the Tim Holtz embossing folder. And since I've already got my 13-inch folders in here, of course you can use those. And remember, when you do use them, you need to leave a lot of space out at the back. Okay. There. So, I know you can't see a lot there, but hang in there and watch what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take my color box ink and just go right over it. Ooh, this is really going to be a cool one. Oh, yeah, I'm liking that. Totally a different look than the sample card that I made, but I'm really, really, really liking this. Oh, yeah, very nice. Now, the one trick I'll tell you about the color box ink, or any inks that you use, this is one that I use a lot to do edging and things because it's not real wet. If it had been real wet, it would have smeared on there. Isn't that just awesome? Oh, I think I like that one. Okay, now let me run over here real quick and show you how to use your long Tim Holtz film strip. I went ahead and put my die cut here, and of course you want to put it gray side up so you'll know which way it goes in. Most folks do, but just for those that maybe don't know, I'm going to lay my cardstock. I kind of ran it through a little bit by mistake, but that's okay. I'm not going to use that much of it anyway. I'm going to put it on there. So I have an A plate, a B plate, and another B plate. And we're just going to run it right on through there. There we go. Alrighty, so there is my film strip. Isn't that really cool? Now you have to take a little bit of time and poke some of these little black things out, but I've gone ahead and done that on my other one, so I'll lay this aside and use it later. But remember about these little squares. I'll bring it back and show you what we do with that. Here's my card, and here's my little film strip. Now I went ahead, I have some ink on here already. Actually, it was the I think a little bit of the dried marigold, and I'm just going to kind of, I don't want that so white on there, so I just kind of rub, and I didn't re-ink this or anything, that's just ink that's been on there for a while, just because I don't want it real white. And then I'm just going to adhere that right on the front of there, like so, and then we're going to put it on there. Isn't that going to be so cool? Alright, let me go trim this and I'll be right back. Alrighty, this is looking so cool. I went ahead and just attached it to my card front. And I went ahead and I glued on, upside down there, I glued on my little film strip onto my piece of cardstock that I did the orange inking on and put some of my embellishments on there. And I went ahead and put foam tape on the back. So let me just attach that on there like so. I like this card a lot better than I do the other. Maybe it's because I love that broken china color. And then we can just take our liquid pearls. You can accent any piece on there because there's so many little things on there. But this takes a little bit of time to dry, so remember when you use that. Oop. You know, I left my lid off a minute ago. I shouldn't probably do that. So here's what I do. Oop, stick my little needle in there and unclog it. I shouldn't have left it open. There. Just put a little dab on there. Now that'll take some time to dry, as I said. If you do it on fabric, it takes a lot longer. There we go. You know, I might even put a few up here on that crown. What the heck? Just kind of brightens it up. Alrighty, there's our card. Now remember, I used the exact same ink colors, and look at the two differences in these cards. Aren't they just awesome? I just love the Tim Holtz products. Now, do you remember in the beginning, I have to tell you this real quick before I run out of time, on that film strip, all those little squares came out of there. Well, I'm not going to throw them away because they're perfect little squares. So that's what I did here. Those are my little squares. I glued those down on my cardstock, ran it through that embossing folder called Animal Prints from Sizzix. Had some old label stickers over there for letter stickers, little crickets, a little bit of ribbon, and I got another card. So there you go. Some really cool ways to use your embossing folders and your Distress Inks Reinkers. Okay, have a great day. Don't forget to stop by CropStop and get some goodies. Bye.